before all of that, our first guest today, Conor Maynard, was once called the British Bieber. He skyrocketed to fame in 2012, earning an army of fans and 5 top 10 singles.
But over the last year, Conor has been engulfed in a paternity scandal after Charlotte Chilton, who starred in the second series of The Traitors, publicly claimed that Conor was the father of the then unborn baby.
Charlotte gave birth to daughter Penelope in October last year, and in March this year, Conor took a DNA test to prove he's not the father.
And following what he's called the worst year of his life, Conor is finally ready to share his side of the story. Thanks for joining us, pal.
That is OK. Thank you for having me.
Firstly, straight off the bat, why is now the right time to speak about this?
Well, my mum doesn't really understand the internet, so she measures my success based on my TV appearances. So I felt like it'd been long enough. It'd been about a few years now, and I think that she needed me to be on here to basically so she could stop calling me a has-been and kind of and understand that Mum, I still release music. No, I'm joking, but I think realistically, one of the main reasons I felt like right now was the right time to speak about it was because, you know, as you already said, the last year's been really difficult, and mental health is something that I've struggled with for a big portion of my life. And obviously this most recent year has been definitely up there in terms of my experience and my battle with it. And I've never really shied away from that in the sense of, you know, my fans who follow me online and on social media, I've spoken about it openly before. And obviously I've, even like today, I've released a brand new song which kind of like goes quite deeply into my battle with anxiety. And obviously there have been a lot of things that have happened, and there's a lot of things that have contributed to kind of why things have been so difficult. And I think it felt like now that I've managed to kind of create this song and put it into words, I guess, how I've been feeling more recently, it felt like, well, if I'm going to be able to sing about it, I might as well be able to talk about it as well.
OK, well, listen, it has been a tough year for you. Let's go back to the beginning where this all started, where the tough year actually started. You met Charlotte at the Traitors party, is that right?
Right, yeah.
You had an encounter with her, one-night stand. Right. And then when did it start to go downhill for you? So
I think what was probably one of the most difficult aspects of the entire situation was it was so kind of shocking to me how it seemed like there was such a failure from the public, and also sometimes even from the press, to require proof before condemning me for something that obviously ultimately ended up being false and being not true. And even more importantly, which was like very difficult to understand, was that more importantly than me, there was this child at the heart of this entire situation, who will one day grow up and be able to see this, she'll be able to see this for herself. And it was just very difficult to kind of understand that this was all happening without anyone really knowing the true story, or anyone really knowing whether or not it was completely true. And I think what was difficult for me was, instinctively you want to defend yourself. You want to be able to speak your side, but I didn't know what was true and what was not. I didn't know. I didn't know.
And did you try and contact Charlotte privately?
We'd obviously spoken, but at the same time, it's like I think she was pregnant, that she was going to give birth for the first time. And
did she tell you before she told the press?
So I was aware of the situation before. However, I had no idea that it was going to go to the press. I didn't know that any of that was going to happen. In my mind, it was like, well, obviously the natural proceeding would to be a paternity test to basically make sure that everything is 100% certain, and then obviously we deal with it accordingly. And obviously that's not the way it went. And I think it was difficult to remain silent
Especially with social media, trial by social media, it's like pressure, and you're looking at all this stuff
I instantly was painted as a deadbeat dad and that kind of thing, and it was all of my comments across all of my social media was very much all about that. And as I said, instinctively, you want to defend yourself, you want to tell your side of the story, but I also felt like it wasn't right to speak on it until I knew the truth myself. And I didn't want to force that. You know, I obviously research paternity tests and that kind of thing, and I know that it can be considered dangerous for a child that isn't born yet, and also when they're very early in life. So obviously I was kind of just waiting and allowing that decision to come from the other side.
So you did remain with that dignified silence throughout, and you know, what was it like to have that constant, relentless speculation on your character?
Well, one thing I do want to make abundantly clear, and I've addressed this before, is that one thing I don't want people to get misconstrued is that, you know, this caused a brand new mental breakdown or anything like that. Whereas, obviously, as I said, anxiety is something I've struggled with for a long time, and I had anxiety and mental health struggles long before this situation took place. Obviously, at the same time, I can imagine it didn't help. But yeah, it was very difficult. You know, you want to set the record straight. You want to kind of clear your name, as you know, that's one of the main things you want to do. And when I finally revealed the results of the paternity test, you know, I made it very clear in my statement for everyone to remember that, as I said, there is a child of the heart of this, and we have to kind of remember that that is really the most important aspect of this entire thing, because obviously I experienced the kind of the backlash from it from the beginning. I experienced the difficult side firsthand. I got to see how people can reach their conclusion and brand you as what they want immediately. And I didn't want that to then happen all over again. Once I kind of revealed the results of the paternity test.
That's what I was just going to ask them. Like, when you got the results, what was the instant feeling? Was it like a massive weight off your shoulder? Did you feel like you wanted to get out and speak about it straight away?
Funnily enough, it wasn't an instant relief. I actually felt like I was going to have a massive panic attack the second I found out, because I think that's also a difficult truth about mental health, is that, you know, if something traumatic happens to you, the second that traumatic event stops, you don't then go, oh, I'm fine now. Like, everything's fine, everything's clear, like, great, I can now move on with my life. Doesn't really work like that. I think that initially, like, a lot of my friends were like, oh, well, do you want to go and grab a drink, or we'll go and do something, go and hang out nearby your house or something like that, and we can just, like, talk and that kind of thing. And I didn't. I stayed at home with my girlfriend. We stayed in that night, and I kind of just realistically tried to kind of stay calm and just have a relaxed night to the best of my ability, I think.
So was there relief, anger? Was you sad?
It was more, I would say, confusion. It was kind of not really understanding, and I guess feeling like, why did that all have to happen? Why did that have to be such?
It's the people around you who sort of are more, like you said, for you, you didn't really change straight away. You wasn't sure how you felt, but the people around you, your girlfriend, your family, were more.
I mean, they were like,
for you,
they
knowing
couldn't believe
who you
it.
are.
Like, I think at that point, you know, a lot of us had kind of accepted this is probably the reality, and obviously once those results come in, that will be then when it's kind of time to figure out how life will be moving forward and what kind of is the best thing for us to do. So obviously when the result came in, it was like, I can't even begin to explain to you how it was unbelievable. But as I said, it wasn't kind of an instant kind of relief. I think it took a lot of time to process it, and it took a lot of time to really understand, and also to accept that I will never understand a lot of the things that ended up happening. I think that was also a part of the process as well.
Listen, we did actually reach out to Charlotte Chilton's representatives to offer her the chance to have a right of reply, but they declined to make a statement at this time. As this chapter of your life closes, a new chapter opens. You've got a new single. Tell us about it.
A new single, a new beard.
A new beard.
I have to keep checking there's no, like, fans blowing in my direction nearby, so it's going to whisk away. But, yes, I've got a new single called Runaway Man, which quite heavily goes into kind of my struggle with mental health and my kind of how it feels for me, like to the best of my ability. It's very, very difficult to kind of word how kind of anxiety and like severe OCD and those kind of things feel. But you know, I did it. I tried my best, and obviously, even when I posted about my mental health, I saw such an outpour of responses from people that follow me. So obviously, this song, hopefully being able to help them, would be amazing. And yeah, I moved into a new house with my wonderful girlfriend, who's been an absolute rock for me in the last year. We're coming up to our year together. So
I bet she's so proud of this. Let's have a look at this single because I want to see how good it is. Oh, it's so lovely.
Thank you.
Do like a pop video.
Do ya?
Yeah, back in the day, it was all about the video, wasn't
it? It's all about the video.
I think the art of music videos has kind of fallen off a bit. I really want to bring it back. Music videos used to be like the talking point of a song. We need to bring them back.
What does your mum think of it? Because I know she had a very funny encounter with Cyndi Lauper, didn't she?
Yes. So, yeah, my mum is buzzing that I'm releasing new music, definitely. And yeah,
she'll be proud that you're on this morning.
This is like I think this is probably the pinnacle of my success in her opinion. I don't think I've ever done anything more impressive. Although there is, as you said, one thing to go up against it. I played the lead in a Broadway show in New York a few years back.
Lovely.
Kinky Boots.
It was Kinky Boots. Yeah, I played one of the lead roles in Kinky Boots, and it was actually Cyndi Lauper who wrote the music for the musical. So it was her and her team that reached out to me originally. She literally stumbled across one of my videos on YouTube. Yeah. And so she reached out, and I was a little bit unsure at first. I ended up going to watch it, fell in love with it, agreed to do it. And I said to Cyndi Lauper, I was like, my mum is like the biggest fan of you. Like, would it be okay if you could somehow meet? And she was like, yeah, of course. My mum ended up coming over to New York over the Christmas period to watch the show, and it just turned out that Cyndi wasn't in town over Christmas, so she was unable to see her. And I obviously said, oh, Cyndi, you know, you said you're going to meet my mum. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then she sent a text to me, asked my mum's number. No. Sent a text to my mum being like, I'm really sorry that I missed you, but I'll catch you next time. I was thinking, I mean, it's never going to happen. But, like, my mum was obviously very, very happy to have shown
that's kind of cool.
That shows what age I'm at. I get young people come to, and I go, it is me, and they go, my mum loves you. Yeah. Or me nan, I'm like, all right, OK.
The thing is, I think that's sometimes an excuse, because even I get that. People's like, my mum loves you. I'm like, what? I don't know about
the beard.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's the beard. It's changed things.
We're so happy that you can now move forward into new music, and we hope you're doing well mentally and everything like that. And thank you for joining us. The single is out now, Runaway Man, and go and download it. It's brilliant. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Just wanted to say thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. Now, listen, we upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.
This is a question that I would like to know the answer to. Have you ever taken the time to really find out about the lives led by older people that you know? Well, doing so might just surprise you.
Yeah, and it's such a great source of stories, and that's exactly what Graham Norton's latest fictional character, Frankie, explores. In another best-selling novel, this is it here. Graham is here to tell us more about it. Graham, good morning. How are you?
I'm very well. It's now my baby's out in paperback. It's a summer read, everyone. It's a summer read. That's what it is.
We like a good summer read, don't we?
So, it is exactly what you're describing. It's that it's a very nondescript, ordinary, you wouldn't look at her twice, older lady living in East London, and she has a fall, hurts her ankle, and she needs someone to care for her. And that carer turns out to be a young Irish guy who comes from the little place in West Cork where she's from, and that kind of link unlocks Frankie, and she starts telling him about this extraordinary life that she's had.
See, I'm always curious about... I kind of like that bond between a younger person and an older person. There's a really special relationship there.
Remember, was it Channel 4 did that show where they sent kids into care homes?
Yes.
And it was so
beautiful,
lovely. It was really, really special.
Tell us about some of Frankie's highlights. Don't give everything away, but what extraordinary things did she do?
I think what's interesting about Frankie is she's actually a very passive character.
Right.
Things happen to her, you know, her best friend in the book is Nora, and she makes decisions. She decides to come to London and reinvent herself as this character called Nora. But stuff just happens to Frankie. So she's in a very bleak marriage in Ireland. She ends up in London, and then again just ends up in America, and then ends up in the art scene. She is in the restaurant scene in New York, which then kind of coincides with the AIDS epidemic in New York. Just a lot of... She touches a lot of bits of our culture and bits of our cultural history. And unusually for me, I did some research for this book, and I wasn't sure whether I'd like that, but actually, I really enjoyed doing the research and finding out. I mean, there were worlds that I was interested in anyway, but doing a deep dive was fascinating, and also it was then hard to decide, like, what to leave out. Like, I can't just fill this book with interesting facts I know. So you have to kind of smooth it out a bit.
I was going to say that to you, in terms of, like, inspiration when you're building out these characters. I mean, research was involved in this, but where do you normally take inspiration from?
All sorts of things. I've just started a new book, and the inspiration for that is something I found in a second-hand shop, this bit of embroidery, needlepoint on a piece of furniture. And I just thought, well, there's a story in that. And I'm sort of currently fleshing it all out. And this is a bit I love in the writing process.
Yes.
When it's all new and, you know, the people on that page, they didn't exist a minute ago, and now they do. And that's the bit I love.
At what point, Graham, does it just get so overwhelming, and the stories and the interlocking stories and the characters, and you go, actually, no, something like that?
There is a bit about... I think there's a few bits, and I think every writer will tell you this, about a third of the way through and about two-thirds of the way through, where you think, oh, why did I ever start this?
Yes.
Who would ever be interested in these characters? But that you just have to push through and believe in the idea you had originally, that you thought it was interesting.
Do you, like, have on a wall the basic premise of the story in one sentence just to remind yourself, just to go back to...
I do write things down. I write the book on a laptop, but I do have things, particularly, you know, in this book and in the new book, there's kind of time spans. So you have to remember how old were they when that was going on.
Yes.
Hang on, when were they bored? So that would make them this now. Oh, they need to be older. I'll go back and change it.
Yeah.
You know, all that sort of stuff.
I always wonder, because you've writing novels now for 10 years.
Yeah.
And how... This is obviously a real focus for you now, aside from TV. How do you do it in chunks? Do you have to really sort of, like, preserve your time and say, this is for writing, or is it something that always... It's a
bit of both, to be honest. Like, because it's my hobby, really. It's a thing I love doing outside of my day job. So right now, I'm just finding time on my laptop. Towards the end, when someone's breathing down my neck going, we need that book now.
Because once something's successful, it's now like, OK, when's another one?
So when that happens, then I do have to start blocking out days in my diary and kind of go, that's a book day. And I look forward to them. I kind of see them coming in my... Oh,
how many coffees on a book day? How many coffees on a book day?
Well, how many coffees on any day? Can you tell? Can you tell I'm quite highly caffeinated? I've only had one so far today. Imagine me in an hour.
What's really exciting, and you know the kind of level of success that that's landed with your books when you have that conversation for turning them into film.
That is weird. Only one has actually made it to the screen so far, Holding, but there's another couple that people are developing, and so far anyway, my policy is not to get involved. That's somebody else's job. Let them do it. And I do find it really interesting where people take the stories, how they see the characters, because, you know, to turn it into a television series, you need more. You need extra characters, more plot twists and things. You know, books are normally kind of... A book could be a film, I think. Yeah. But to be a television series, you've got to
trust the screenwriter, which it must be hard, handing over your baby to someone.
Do you know what? I'm done with these books. when I'm finished.
There we go. It's got it. Sorry, I was doing it for you.
So you are a very busy man. We're talking about TV, we're talking about NTAs, we're talking about the books, and so on and so forth. Your diary is kind of giving me mild anxiety. And moving is part of the process for you. Moving house. Let's chuck some house move in the middle of all of that.
Why do we know this, by the way? Why is everyone talking about your house?
Because
everyone's obsessed with this.
I don't know why. I don't know why. I mean, the estate agents for our place in East London, they said, "Can we use your name?" And I thought, "I'll get it in a few more people will see it.
Absolutely.
Let's do that then."
Yes.
So that's how that happened. But there's a lot of kind of, "Oh, he must be leaving London." We're not leaving London. We're just moving.
I just want to move.
We're just
That's okay.
moving. Yeah.
But, Graham, and your mum's part Irish, right? So you'll get this.
Yes.
You're going to have to delve deep into your Irish soul here.
Okay.
There is something, Graham, is there not, about wanting to go back to the old soil, about wanting to go home to Ireland. And this is shown in Ireland as well, of course, this show. And people are going, is he coming back? Is Graham coming back to us?
Well, I'm always coming back. I've had a place there for years, and for, I don't know, about 15, 16, 17 years ago, that was when I kind of fell in love with Ireland again. And now I go back as much as I can. And that's why all these books have an element to them set in West Cork. And I said, these books, that book.
Give me a second. No.
Oh, my God, oh, my God.
It's all right. No injuries. I'll go this way.
Hey, we're going to be on It's All Right
That
Tonight now.
went well. The good thing is it was really smooth, wasn't it, Graham?
Yeah. Cool.
40 years
It's
ago.
like you're working with James Bond.
Easy.
That's exactly how it feels. We should say,
And it's so much
after
knee
it's been
pain.
thrown,
I'm trying to hide it.
we should say that the paperback of Graham's best-selling book, Frankie, is out on what camera are we? The 19th of June, and of course is available for pre-order. It's so good to.
For goodness sake.
Is this book of a death wish?
It's in the best hands here, we promise.
It's hot. It's hot.
It's so good to see you and hear all about it. Good luck with the move.
Oh,
Good luck with
thank
the
you
move.
very much. If you want to buy a house.
Yes.
The reality TV show we didn't even get to talk about, but sure, look.
The Neighbourhood is next year. I'll be back.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
very
visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every single day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the morning.
And John Legend joins us now. Do you know what it's... Your music just doesn't age. And I said whilst we were watching that VT, and nor do you. Whatever you're drinking...
I got a couple grays down here.
Send it over here.
John, what we're trying to say is it's really annoying that you're so talented and handsome. If you could just stop. Just, do you know what I mean?
But such a career. We need to talk about 20 years since Get Lifted came out, which is an incredible milestone. What does that mean to you?
Well, I think about the years before the 20 years ago, because I think about trying to get a record deal, trying to get discovered, playing whatever talent show and little club and open mic night that I could play just to get noticed. And then I was writing a lot of Get Lifted while I was unsigned. So I think of all the struggle and all the challenges and all the difficulties that I had to persevere through until I finally got that break. And then when the break happened, I got signed in May of 2004, and most of Get Lifted was already written. And then very quickly, I finished the album, put it out in December of that year, and started touring. And the success and the fame all happened really quickly after that. But I think about all the years before it that didn't feel like it was quick at all.
Yeah.
Do you know what's also really annoying about you, John, is that you can sing and you're very handsome, but also what would have helped was like if you had a really geeky voice, like if you're kind of... Even when you speak,
that
it's
made
like...
you feel better.
Well, it's just like honey in my ears, and it's a lot. It's a lot. Joking aside, just hearing your voice in the corridor, it's somewhat like your singing voice. There's something about it, Rosh, you're a singer yourself, that quality and that tone to John's voice. Let's speak about him for a second like he's not here. I just hadn't heard anything like that before when that album came out. It's very special, isn't it?
It's, as I said before, it's such a classic sound and that classic soulful sound that we love. Do you know, let's go back to that, like you say, the struggle before getting the record deal and getting the break. Get Lifted comes out, is a success. Is it something that you it dawned on you straight away that you knew, OK, we're onto something here, this is really landing?
Well, we started to see the success of Ordinary People, so it was the second single. The first single was Used to Love You, which did OK, but Ordinary People started to get more airplay than Used to Love You, even before we switched to Ordinary People as the single. So if you know anything about record labels, you know, everyone's focused on promoting one song until they're not, and then they move on to the next song. But this time, the second song took off before the label even switched to focus on it. And so we were starting to see Ordinary People just take off and really stop people in their tracks, because this was this song that was just my voice and the piano. it sounded like nothing else that was on the radio at the time. And it literally stopped people in their tracks. They were like, what is this? This is so different. And so that song started to really take off. And I was like, oh, something's happening here.
Yes.
And you could feel the buzz growing. You could feel the energy. And I always say, when you go through the airport, you can tell. Because when people start to recognize you in the airport and they start singing your songs
You get offered
to
a better
you,
seat.
Yeah, and they're like singing your song to you, and they were all singing Ordinary People to me. And I was like, oh, this is working.
This is happening.
And then I always say that the day when I really knew everything was happening was I got a call, 2 different calls on the same day, one from Magic Johnson, who's, a legendary basketball player, and one from Oprah Winfrey on the same day. And both of them asked me to play at different events at their homes in California. And I was like, wow, I've made it.
Yeah. That's the time when you know.
Interesting
That's
that, because it's such a struggle to get to where you get to. That it's interesting. There was a moment where you needed to go, actually, no, I'm there now.
Yeah.
Like, this
well,
is
it was like, okay, this is a new level.
Exactly
And then All of Me comes along and the world double explodes.
And that was quite a long time after my debut. If you think about, All of Me, Get Lifted, and Ordinary People did very well. But All of Me was my first, truly global smash hit single. And that was 9 years later after my debut.
It's such a special song, and I know that you wrote that for your wife,
Yes.
Lucy. But it's become a special part of a lot of other people's lives, because
Sure.
I promise you, I don't think I've been to a wedding in the past however many years where I've not heard that song played or somebody singing a rendition of it. It's such a special song to so many people.
It's a beautiful song. Yeah.
And I'm grateful for that. People ask me if I get tired of it. I'm like, no, I truly am grateful. And whenever you have a song that means that much to so many people, you have this connection with them forever because it's part of some of their most important moments in their lives. And so I feel grateful to be part of people's lives in that way.
Does Chrissy still like it? Maybe.
She doesn't have the same reaction she had when she first heard it. She cried.
I bet.
I sang it to her quietly. I was like, I want you to hear this song.
Aww.
I just wrote it for you. We were engaged at the time, and she cried the first time she heard it. And she doesn't cry every time.
She's a bit desensitized now, isn't she?
She's heard it a few times.
My wife cries when I sing it too, but it's a different form of
It's
emotion.
for different reasons.
Tears
It's for different reasons.
How often is it sung to you? I mean, every day does someone...
Well, people don't sing it to me a lot, but, in the airport sometimes,
Yes, but you've done it about 5 times
How
already.
many times have you caught me singing it today?
I've caught you singing it multiple times today. I love it. I love
Just so you know, John, I did warn him. I gave him a pep talk. I said, play it cool, no singing. And now it's the earworm. He can't stop.
John, I'm too old to be playing it. I think you're fabulous, and it's a beautiful
love it.
song.
I
You know what I mean?
want to talk about the tour.
Yes.
Because the tour kicked off in Glasgow on Tuesday.
On Tuesday, yes. So this is the first leg of the Get Lifted 20th anniversary tour. We started in the UK because the UK has always meant a lot to me, and especially this album, I think, really connected in the UK really well. And so when we were thinking about where should we start, we said, let's start in the UK. And so we're here, we're playing Manchester tonight, we're playing Birmingham tomorrow, and then London on Sunday. And I'm just so excited because I think about all the venues that I've played, especially in London. We started at the Jazz Cafe, and the Hammersmith Apollo, and Brixton. And I just think about all these venues, and now we're at the O2. So it just feels like a wonderful progression through all these years. And I'm excited to celebrate Get Lifted with the British audience.
And your family in tow as well?
No, they're back home. My kids are in school right now, and they're finishing in a couple weeks. So we figured we wouldn't take them out of school for the last couple weeks.
It just changes the dynamic,
Yes.
doesn't it? It really, really does. As soon as they hit school, you're like, oh, we can't do that.
Every decision is altered
Isn't
by
yours.
that. Yes.
Are the kids, do they play? Do they sing?
So Luna and Miles both take piano lessons. Luna's definitely more into music than anyone. She takes piano lessons. She takes a vocal lesson every Saturday. And then she was in the school musical. She played young Nala in the Lion King.
Wow.
And she really loves to sing, and she can dance. She can do all of it. So, and she's also very visually creative. So she likes to draw and create these structures. Like she built a dollhouse for my youngest daughter out of cardboard boxes, and
Amazing.
like she just likes to design and
She's a
build
creative
things. Yeah,
one.
she's very creative.
Well, they have a great creative to look up to. We love what you do.
Well, both
Absolutely.
me and their mother are very creative,
Right.
and we love music, and so we just try to encourage them to explore and try different things and be as creative as
And whenever
possible.
I see on social media, I always think dinner at your house looks incredible.
Yes.
Have you seen Chrissy, the meals that she
really?
cooks? And I see her mum involved and the
Yes.
whole thing. It's like
Well, I haven't been
incredible.
invited around. for dinner, so I wouldn't
We
know,
love
John.
to cook. We actually have spent a couple of our Christmases here in London. We like to come somewhere that's cold and got
Yes,
kind of a
feels
cozy.
Christmassy.
Yeah, it feels Christmassy because LA does not ever feel Christmassy. And so we've done some cooking here in London. We'll have to invite you guys over
Yes.
next
Love
time.
that.
And I heard that you're partial to a roast dinner.
We love a roast. We love shepherd's pie.
Oh, my gosh.
We love.
You're talking our language.
We love what's the one with the wrap? Wellington, beef Wellington.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
John,
That's good
posh.
news for
Yes.
you.
That's
We
posh.
like to do that for Christmas.
Yes,
Listen,
that's a
fun.
I'll
treat.
teach you how to make a beef Wellington. You teach me how to sing.
Okay,
Properly.
deal.
Done. He doesn't
is
have a
on.
magic
The
wand.
fact is, we already know how to make beef Wellington, though. to tell you the truth.
Yes. It's true.
But I'll teach you to sing anyway.
There you go.
I'm actually
Good
over it now.
luck, John. Good luck.
I'm
You're
actually
getting
fine now,
into it.
John. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Have the
you.
best tour. Good luck.
talking
I hope it
Thank
goes
you.
well.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Yeah, tickets for John's Get Lifted tour are now on sale, and the deluxe album is also out now.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.
Now, having shot to fame on Love Island in 2017. Oh, look at you there. Wow, look at that bod. Gabby Allen has since made a name for herself as a successful fitness influencer.
So it came as a huge shock to fans when Gabby revealed that she was once told she may never walk again as a result of her scoliosis. Now, that's a condition where the spine curves sideways. Ahead of scoliosis, hard to deal with, hard to say as well. It's the Awareness Month this month, and Gabby joins us now alongside Dr. Zoe. Good morning to you both.
Hi.
How are you?
Great, how are you?
We're super. Yeah, we're super, and good to see you. We'll talk about this because nobody knew. We didn't know when we watched you on Love Island. What made you come out and tell everyone about it?
I think when I first went on originally, I was thinking, this is probably the first time young people have seen someone on screen with the scars, because I do have 16-inch scars down my back and down my side. So that was one thing when I show it off, and also all my fitness content as well shows it off too. So it shows that you can, look great and feel confident about your scars.
And be super fit and super healthy. Let's talk about your diagnosis. When did you first find out that you had scoliosis?
I was around 11 or 12 years old. I was actually on holiday and my dad was teaching me how to dive. And my mum was like, wait a minute, she's a bit wonky. And then straight away when we got home, we took me to the doctors. And within a few months, I was already on the operating table because it was growing so quickly.
Right, so it was quite a rapid pace. And thinking, I mean, fast forward to now, and you are like the fittest woman that I've ever seen. And, that's your DNA is now you're a fitness instructor.
Yeah.
That is the bones of you. At one point, you thought or you were told that you might not ever walk again.
Yeah.
That is quite something to hear.
I think as a young girl, the scariest thing for me was that I was never going to dance again. I was like, well, it doesn't matter about walking. I need to be able to dance because that's what I wanted to do. So I wasn't told much information before going in. Obviously, my parents didn't want to scare me.
Of course.
But yeah, it's a 10-hour operation. Well, the one that I had was. And they fused my whole spine from top to bottom. I've got rods through the whole spine, nuts and bolts and everything. And you have to sign a form saying that, there's a chance that you might not be able to walk. I did have to learn how to walk again. But within 6 months, I was dancing. I won ballet competitions like 9 months later. So I think that's what built my resilience to be where I am now with like strength
And
training.
your love of fitness.
Yeah.
Strength
And
character,
because that's a tricky age. You're saying you're 11. That's like secondary school age. You know, being a young person at that time is already challenging and having to go through this. But like you say, maybe that is the sort of the flip side of it is actually it's so inspirational. People watching this, if they're young and have just been affected by this, that the other side of it is look at you now.
Yeah, you can do anything. And I think also because I was in dancing at the time, that was already, you know, my discipline there. And I think that's been brought over. Like, I feel so much better the stronger I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can, as long as you listen to your GP and all that first and make sure that you're safe to do it, just get strong and get back in there.
Should we listen to our GP?
Let's listen to our GP. We've got the best
let's
one
go
in
right
there.
back to the start, Zoe.
Yeah.
What is it exactly?
So scoliosis is an abnormal curvature of the spine. Now, if you look at somebody from the side, the spine does have some curves, and that's normal. We need that. But if you look at somebody from the front or the back, the spine, nobody's spine is perfectly straight. We've all got slight curvatures. But if a curvature is exaggerated, as you can see here on these images, so the thoracic spine, which you see on the left, that's the top part of the spine below the neck, and the lumbar spine is the lower part of the spine. So the scoliosis can affect either, or it can affect both.
Right.
And sometimes you see a C shape or an S-type shape. Now, the reality is if your child has scoliosis, you might not notice the curvature of the spine itself. A bit more, exactly as Gabby said, you might just think they look a bit wonky. I think that was a really good description. Not a medical term, but I think, but you might notice that their shoulders are uneven, their waist looks uneven, or their hips, or actually if you ask them to bend forward to touch their toes, you might notice that one shoulder blade sticks up. So I think what's really important is if you notice something like that in your child, it's important to take them to the GP and get it diagnosed as soon as possible.
And it won't always end up in a big operation, right?
No.
There can be, it's layered, it's different
Yes,
levels, right?
so in the majority of cases, surgery is absolutely not necessary. In Gabby's case, it was a severe curvature, which actually the trajectory of that as she was going to grow was going to get more severe. So the majority of cases could be managed what we call conservatively. So that would mean just being monitored over time with X-rays, seeing a physiotherapist so that you can be informed as to the things that you can do, which involves being strong, being active, living a normal life and looking after your spine to protect it. And that is to reduce the risk of complications like back pain in the future. Some people, if they've got sort of moderate, they may need to be required to wear some form of brace.
Right.
So that's to control the way in which the spine is growing, especially going through growth spurts. But for the majority of people, surgery isn't required.
And as a parent, because I'm always that parent that's like, right, we're going to keep an eye on that. I'm not like, I don't ever do anything in a rush. I'll keep an eye on that and see how they go. Is it something that you should keep an eye on, or as soon as you notice something, it's quite important to act on it?
I think as soon as you notice something, if you're not so sure, you're a bit concerned, it's best to just it's a 10-minute GP consultation. The GP might be able to reassure you and say, well, let's monitor it, but it's best just to check rather than be worried about it when either there's nothing needs to be done or if there is scoliosis, the sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
And what would you say is the best advice on living with scoliosis?
So I think that the key advice is that with scoliosis, people can live a full and normal life. But it is important to look after the spine and protect the spine. And, you know, I think Gabby's a perfect example of somebody who has had surgery but has also done loads of things. Her interest in dance was probably really protective in a lot of ways because she had that motivation to get moving and to stay active and to be strong. So I think, yeah, the best advice is to, you know, over 2 million people in the UK have this.
Right.
It's fairly common. People may feel like they're on their own and it's just affecting them, but it's not. So reach out to support groups, you know, make friends with like-minded people. If you're a parent with a child with scoliosis, reach out to other parents and be in this together. But supporting children to live a normal, active life and take on board any support through physiotherapists or, you know, through specialists if surgery is required, just following the advice.
It was spotted on me when I was a kid. So my shoulder's a little bit off. And I just had to do a lot of physio when I was a kid. It hasn't changed a thing. I just walk a bit odd. But I think that's just because I'm a bit odd. Nothing to do with anything. Going on Love Island's brilliant, particularly with this in mind now. And what you said about showing off the scars and being proud of them and being proud of your
Using it as a
past.
platform.
It's just really important and a huge part of your Love Island journey, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what's funny? Coming from remembering when I was younger, I was embarrassed of my scars, and I wish I could tell my younger self now, don't be embarrassed, they're amazing. You know, you show people how strong you are. So now, the fact that I do wear them with pride and, you know, have them off at all times, it's a talking point, you know. So I'd like young people just to know that you should be proud of them, and if you have to go through that. And also, if you are a bit wonky, doesn't matter. You're doing the work to, like, make yourself unwonky. You make you different, you know?
Yeah,
exactly.
Different is good, right?
Different
And
is
it's
great.
all part of your story. I think it's so funny, as you say, when you're growing and you're learning and you're dealing with everybody else around you, but you do worry about scars, and we see it with skin and people with acne, and it's a lot, isn't it? Those years are so formative and sort of taking everyone else's opinion around you, but you've done such an incredible thing using that platform to raise awareness about something that not a lot of people know about, but can actually be something that is.
Some of the messages I've had from young people and their parents just saying, you know, thank you for sharing your story. I've talked more about it this year than I did before, but even just beforehand, just on Instagram, you know, thanks for sharing that you've got a scar. And that's rewarding as well, because I'm like, yeah. See,
and it's nice for you too, and like you say, you talk more about it now because you'll be getting more and more confident as that happens.
My daughter Elsa, who's the scariest of my children, says you've got a vibe. And that's a good thing.
There you go.
No,
He does have a vibe. That is a huge compliment for us because he says that he says is that she's scary. She's my one that says it's scary.
You're scary.
She loved you on Love Island so much, so much. And there's a
we should talk about 10 years,
right?
10 years of Love Island.
I know.
How has that happened?
I don't know, but it's great. I can't, like, it just gets better and better each time. I think it gets bigger and bigger.
I'm obsessed with it.
I was on 8 years ago.
Wow.
So
I just know that my summer's about to be taken over and I'm here for it. There's no saying. My husband is like, are we watching this again? Yes, we are. And you're invested. Don't pretend that you're not. I know, you know when they do that thing when he'll be like, are we really watching this again? And then he'll go to the toilet and he'll be like, just pause that a minute, babe. I'm like,
classic.
He wasn't watching it, was he?
Is it weird that 3 strangers are so invested in your love life? Is it? And watched it all play out.
You guys, everybody.
Oh my God!
We like
Are we allowed? Are we allowed? It's all. It's all.
We're here for love.
Great.
I'm all here for love. That's what
we'll
I
leave
like
it there.
We're all here for love, but there is.
There's a documentary. That's right. That's right. A Decade of Love. It airs at 9 p.m. this Sunday on ITV2 and ITVX. I will be there.
Yes, and regarding scoliosis with your kids, if you think something's off, cute, just go get it checked. Don't worry, just get it checked.
Go your GP. If in doubt, even if it's just for reassurance, you'll all feel better
Yes.
if your GP can reassure you.
Absolutely. Thank you both.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you for talking about
Good
that.
stuff.
Lovely to see you.
You too. Have a great day.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. Now, we upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning. Yeah, I was listening to that last night. What a tune. Louise is back with her 5th studio album, Confessions. She's going to tell us all about it, but I do look at this.
I know.
There's something so satisfying, isn't there, about a vinyl like
I've
that?
never had a picture vinyl, so this is a first for me. So when they gave it to me, I was
More
like
of
a child.
that.
I was
This year,
very excited.
Can we fight about it?
It's such a thank you. I already won. It's such a good, like you say, never having a picture vinyl. That's like a moment, isn't it?
It's a little bit sass, you know. The picture's a bit sassy.
Good.
As it should be.
As
Look
it
at it.
should
Look
be.
at it. So let's talk about it because Confessions dropped over the weekend.
Yes.
When you are working on an album, I appreciate how much time and effort and how much of you pours into that. How does it feel now that your baby is out there for everybody to sort of have a piece of?
Do you know, it's so mad 'cause you're right, when you're writing it in the studio, and on this album there were no rules. I went in there and I thought, if I'm going to do this, I want it to be progressive and current, and I want it to be really honest and not kind of think about what I'm saying. I feel like we're in a place now that you can be really, you know, authentic with what you want to say. People relate. So I went in with that attitude, and then you kind of then have a period of time where it's only really you and a few people that have listened to it. Then all of a sudden, everyone's going to hear it, and then you go,
love it in the same way we do.
Yeah, it does feel like that because you know what it means to you and the producer, you know, that you've worked with, and you just sort of think to yourself, say no one likes it. Now all of a sudden, you know, all the time no one's heard it, you can be super proud of it. But then once it's out, you think, oh, well, now it's D-Day, right?
And what's the reaction been like?
Do you know, I think what's been amazing on this album, I think people have there's certain songs on it that I think people have related to. Like I said, there's a real honesty through this album. I really did take a really different view in how I went about making this album. I've never done that before. I've always been very cautious. I've always worried about, you know, the hit, what's going to land.
Yes.
And on this, I didn't. If I like it, and if it created an emotion in me, and the people that I sort of surround myself with, I was like, oh, let's just go with it.
Do you know, I kind of spotted it. I was listening to a few tracks last night, and there's a confidence in it. And I think that comes with experience.
Yeah.
As you get older, you kind of go, if I like it, I'm going to back myself.
100%.
Do you find yourself doing that?
Yeah, I totally. I mean, I think back to, all of those great sort of like songs in the early days. There was such an element of uncertainty that still sat within me. Like, you know, you sort of question everybody's comments and points of views. And I think on this album, yeah, there's been an inner confidence where I'm just going to back myself. Like, you know, when you've made music for a lot of years, you just get to the stage where you've got to love it yourself.
And back then, like we say, that comes with confidence, that comes with trusting yourself, that comes with experience. But back then, and we're talking about that 90s nostalgia kind of era, everything's polished, everything's very considered. And I suppose there's an element of, and I suppose when you're in a group and then even making that solo move, that being yourself sometimes always comes last because you're
100%.
Focused on the hit, the tour, the image.
Our radio gonna like it,
Exactly
will TV
that.
like it.
So yourself's removed a little bit from that, even
100%.
though you're the poster girl for it.
100%. That is completely it. It's, you kind of go on this sort of like journey, but it's only small elements of you that are in there because so many people polish everything and everything's got a certain image where I think, like, this album, I just threw all of that to the wind. I never once thought, oh, even sort of whilst writing lyrics, I never thought, oh, I've already said that word once. And you know, like all those kind of rules that you grow up when you've been doing it as long as I have. This, I was like, no, that's what I want to say. That's then I'm going to say. And I work with such great people in this. I think they gave me the space to really be creative.
This is a great tune. It's such a great tune.
Look at you, Louise, by the way. I'm going to say this because no one really ever says it about themselves. You look absolutely incredible. Like, honestly, you...
It takes a lot of hours.
It doesn't. Don't do that. Don't do that. This is all you. This is all you. Do you find that you have a different level of confidence? Music being one thing, but that self-confidence. We were reading here earlier about the accolades and winning Sexiest Woman of the Year, and I know that you still have that in your house, which, listen,
in the downstairs bar.
In the loo.
That will be on the
The kids put it flat, though, still, if they've got friends that come round. They're like, this is so embarrassing. You definitely was never that.
Their
so
friends
flat.
definitely don't.
Yeah, because their friends are going, your mum's so fit. You know that, right? That's happening.
It definitely does. Do you feel more confident now? Because those accolades are one thing, but at the time, if you're not in that place, do you feel more confident now than you did back then?
Yeah, definitely. I think back then, winning sort of like those sexy awards, anyone that knows me knows that that is so un-me. I'm so not a sexy type of girl. Like, I was always quite tomboyish. It wasn't really a natural place for me to sit. I always was in this because I love music, I love songwriting. So I felt like it was sort of something that kind of got thrust upon me on a bit of a PR journey, which was lovely, but look, I never got up in the morning and thought, oh, yeah, I am the sexiest woman in the world. I used to get up in the morning and think, oh, no, how on earth did anyone even begin to vote for me? But I took it with a pinch of salt. I was where I think now, you know, you just come into your own level of self-confidence, I think. I think you learn that you're not going to please everybody.
Do the boys like it?
The boys do like this album. I think it's a lot to do with some of the producers I worked with because they're really cool producers. So I think like that gives them another, oh yeah, I love all their other stuff, Mum. Yeah, and now and again I catch like especially the young ones singing it around the house a little bit, having I go, oh, you're singing Mum's songs? Like, no, absolutely
but you
wasn't.
You heard it. We can't let you go because we mentioned it earlier on. We can't let you go without mentioning the fact that you were very almost in Friends.
I know. I mean, so I was doing Big Breakfast like just as a guest, and they were filming in the UK, and they just rang up my management and said, would Louise come down for a screen reading with Matt LeBlanc, who's Joey? I was expecting him to go, how you doing? When I walked in, I was devastated when he didn't. Did, you know, the screen test, and they were like, do you want to do the part? But, and you know this, Rochelle, when you've got a record out, your schedule with Top of the Pops and everything.
Nothing comes before it.
Nothing comes before it. And, yeah, I do kick myself a little bit because I definitely should have said yes.
Could have been, oh, my word.
I said I couldn't do it.
But it's been all right, hasn't it? Come on.
It's been all right. It could have been a little bit better if I had done
Do you know,
Friends.
you were the first ever interview I did when I started in TV with the girls, with Eternal. Yeah, back in the Disney Club.
That was, what, over
How long
30
ago was
years
that?
ago. Over 30 years. Must have been.
We just say, no, it wasn't today or yesterday.
Yes.
No, it wasn't the present. It wasn't the present.
A little while ago.
It's going great for you. Good luck with the
Thank
new
you,
album.
guys.
It's great to see you.
Really appreciate
it. Really
it.
is.
Thank you.
Keep doing your thing.
There we go.
Fantastic.
Confessions is out now. Good luck with it.
Thank
It's
you.
brilliant. That's mine.
Thank you so much for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every single day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the morning.
But behind the scenes, Leslie Garrett has been quietly battling a rare form of cancer with surgery that came dangerously close to ending her singing career for good.
I'm delighted to say Leslie joins us now alongside her oncologist, Dr. James Wilson. Good morning to you
morning.
both.
Good
morning.
All happy, all smiles,
Yes.
all well.
Good to see you
Totally
well. Good to see you well.
Thank you.
Gosh, what a journey, though, for you.
Should we start back? Because it's the word that nobody wants to hear. And I know that there's a history of cancer in your family. Take us back to the beginning with you and your story, because this all started after you came across a lump in your breast.
Yes. We do have cancer in our family. We have breast cancer in our family, and I was checking diligently, and I came across a lump. And I thought, right, go and get this checked out. And during the course of investigating that lump, which turned out to be absolutely nothing, we discovered another lump. It's called an incidentaloma because it was discovered while they were looking for something else. And it's one of the reasons the NHS is so challenged, because the technology is so wonderful, they keep finding things they weren't really looking for.
Right.
And we discovered that on my thymus gland, which sits about here, I'd grown a little friend for it. I had a thing called a thymoma, which is a very rare tumour, apparently, on the thymus gland. Now, the thymus gland isn't much use once you're an adult. I think I'm right, aren't I, Jen?
No, you're absolutely.
It's more useful as a child for making T cells, apparently. And at the time, I had it tested, and it was benign, and it wasn't something that was a cause for worry. But then, a little while later, I noticed that my voice wasn't behaving properly.
And in what way?
Well, I was preparing a role for English National Opera. I was doing better because I'm still at it.
Rightly so.
Can't put a good Yorkshire woman down. And I was singing the Barber of Seville, and the preparation wasn't going as I'd hoped, and I was finding I couldn't reach the top notes that I used to reach, and it just wasn't working properly. So I went to my wonderful laryngologist, again at UCLH, my favourite place in the world. And John Rubin, who's known me for many years, said, no, your larynx looks perfect. There's nothing wrong. So I thought, well, I wonder if this thymoma that I had diagnosed the year before is starting to do something. Because it's such a rare cancer, nobody's quite, and that's why we want to raise awareness about it, you know, nobody's quite sure how they work. So I went back and met, again, my wonderful doctor, David Patrini, who was Italian and loved opera, so that's a win-win.
There we go.
And he said that since I'd had it diagnosed originally, the thinking had changed, and now, rather than just watching and waiting, which is what I've been told we would do, the recommendation was to have it removed. And so that's what I was told I had to do, which was a little bit scary.
But a decision, I mean, you have to get it removed. It's a
well,
very
you do.
difficult,
The thing about this thymoma is that where it's placed, which is just to the left of the middle of the chest, it's on just very close to the heart. There are lots of other nerves and muscles in that area that govern the larynx.
Right.
So there was every possibility in my mind, anyway, that if something was going on there, it would be affecting my singing.
I mean, and for a singer to hear those words, I mean, that is like taking a bullet, isn't it?
Well,
hearing that.
When they described the operation they were going to have to do to get rid of it, that was even more frightening because that involved a lot of cutting in that area.
So there are two forms of the operation. And welcome to the sofa, by the way.
Thank you very much. Very nice to meet you, Rochelle.
First of all, thymus. I should probably know what it is. I'd never heard of it.
I'd never heard of it until today.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? And I saw a nice picture that your team has put together to show people at home where it is. So it's something that, as Leslie says, it's something that during childhood, it's very important in the development of your immune system. But from puberty onwards, it just sort of disappears. So when you do a scan and you see something in that area just behind the breastbone, one of the things it could be is a thymoma, so it does need to get checked out.
And there's an interesting lesson here, isn't there, from Leslie, that sometimes you just have to keep going and keep asking questions and don't accept the diagnosis.
And listen to your body.
Wrong,
I mean, nobody's going to know her voice or her breathing better than Leslie Garrett. You know, somebody who's had so much control and development of that over the years. You'd have detected a change.
Yes, it was subtle, and you're right. Perhaps somebody who wasn't a singer wouldn't have noticed it. I did notice a change in my breathing. I couldn't last phrases. I couldn't phrase in the way I used to. And all of this made me think, you know, something's going on.
Yeah.
And UCLH were amazing amazing. They took me totally seriously, immediately re-scanned me and said, yeah, we think this has got to come out.
And it is a lesson, like you say, Craig, that we say this a lot. It's so important for us to be in tune with our bodies and really listen to what's normal for you and know when those sort of signs start to appear. I want to talk about the operation itself, James, because this was a real, like, highly technical surgery.
Oh, hugely technical. And when you've got a rare cancer like this, you need a team who does it all the time. You don't want somebody who does 1 or 2 of these a year. You want somebody who's doing 2 or 3 a week to be doing your operation. And Leslie's absolutely right. Even a decade ago, Leslie would have had a scar from here to here and opened up the whole breastbone and opened the chest to remove this thymoma. Whereas it was just a couple of incisions on the side of the chest and then a robot to remove the surgery with a surgeon on the other side of the room.
My robot. I got to meet my robot, the Da Vinci robot. Oh, this piece of kit. I've always been interested in science. I always did science at school. I would have done medicine, which is probably why I married a doctor, if I hadn't done singing. And I was allowed to actually be introduced to this fantastic thing. It had arms, it had a personality, it spoke to me. No, but seriously, my wonderful surgeon, Dr. Bakri, was sitting 20 yards away in a corner, facing a screen with his back to me. It was like he was doing some fantastic video game, I was going, yeah, go on, get 100 points. But it was amazing. It had arms with little instruments on the ends. They made 2 little incisions here.
So you weren't awake for it. I know you wanted to be awake.
To have been awake for it, but I got them to describe it in perfect detail. They had to depress this lung and keep this one inflated. My anaesthetist did an amazing job. He was a bit anxious, I can tell you. But they went in with one arm with scissors that cut round it, and then another arm with some tweezers that picked it up, and then they put it in a little bag, like Sainsbury's, and pulled it out. Take away tumour. I thought it was amazing, absolutely amazing.
One thing that really fascinates me about this story is that you have this surgery, we know how intricate it is, we know how technical the procedure was, but the very next day, I mean, this is just testament to you, isn't it? The very next day, you can sing.
Absolutely. It's testament to the fantastic care I received at UCLH, not just the surgical care, but the nursing care. I was so well looked after, as everybody is there. And, yeah, the next day, I sort of was in my bed with the sheet up going, because you have to just test it out and see if it's there. Sure. And I was home within 24 hours. And the next day, I gave it a little tryout, and it was there.
And on stage,
it was perfect.
Within months, back on stage?
Yes, within 3 months, I was doing a concert in the
there
outdoors
you are,
in Bristol. Yeah. That's me and Roger giving it large. This was Land of Hope and Glory.
James, just a quick message to folks at home, because any time we do a story like this, people get worried and they spot things in themselves. What would you say to folks at home?
The first thing to say is thymoma is exquisitely rare. That's why you need to have specialist centres that do this all the time. But we've touched on the most important message from today, isn't it? Listen to your body. And I remember the 2 Ps. So we all wake up with a dodgy back now and again, but if you've got a system that persists and progresses over time, you can't ignore it. You need to go and get it checked out.
Good advice.
Thank you. And so good to see you well and performing and doing what you do best. Thank you for coming in.
A ray of sunlight in the studio this morning, Leslie Garrett.
That's the energy we need.
Good on you, good on you. Thank you for...
Now, for 15 years, Ellie Simmonds devoted her life to winning gold, becoming one of Britain's most celebrated Paralympians.
But her career outside of the pool has been equally impressive. Ellie's most recent documentary, where she reunited with her biological mother, won her a BAFTA.
And tonight, she's back with another deeply personal show. Let's have a look.
My parents married quite young. They've got us, 5 of us in total, all adopted. And I hear from friends that the love you feel for your children is just indescribable. But then also, to look after a human is such a big responsibility, especially when disability comes into play. My birth mum got told that I had dwarfism. 2 days later, she gave me up for adoption. I'm so interested to find out, 30 years later, has that changed? How does my birth mum feel today? And what would I do if I were in the same position?
And Ellie's joining us now. How are you, Ellie?
No, good, thank you. My mum has done so well with those archive footage. She's so glad she took all of those. Seeing
So
that,
did she send them all in and you saw everything and you were like, oh my God.
yeah, do you know when you watch it and you're like, oh, was that actually me when I was a youngster? But no, it was so nice because it's memories, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's
So
gorgeous.
it's 5 kids in the house.
Yeah, 5 of us in total. So, yeah, busy family, really. And
Yeah.
I love that. You know, I
Yeah.
love how there's always something going on and we're very family orientated as well.
And so lucky to be surrounded by so much love as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, hugely. Like, and I think that's being on this journey with this documentary. Love is just the most important thing. And, like, I've grown up with so much love with my family, my parents and my friends, my family. And, yeah, you could see it with the footage and then talking about with my parents at the start of the documentary, just chatting to them about it and stuff. Because I was thinking about it. I was chatting with them about it. Like, when I was younger, I wanted loads of children. I wanted loads. I wanted about 6. Like, imagine me with loads of children. Like, I need a big car. But now it's, like, definitely changes. But I think, yeah, just being able to talk openly about having children and also talking about children with a disability as well, because my family adopted 3 of us with a disability. So myself with dwarfism, my sister with dwarfism as well, and Pauline's got intellectual impairment as well too. So yeah, we've been growing up with different disabilities. So it's been really interesting on this documentary to find out, like, what's it like when people get diagnosed with a disability? What is it? What do they go through? Because when my birth mum found out that I had a disability, the words that she received on that sheet of paper and the support was just nothing. She had no support whatsoever. So in this documentary, what we want to find out, has that changed? Like, I think society's getting better, isn't it, with disability? We're getting more aware of it, but what's the language like?
Do you think we've still got a long way to go when it comes to that? Because I feel like fear is a massive thing, because you follow quite a few families in the documentary and their journey. And I think fear of the disability is what I noticed is the main thing.
Very much. So a lot of the parents and the women and the couples, it's that fear of the unknown. And I think that's normal, isn't it? Like, I know the fear sometimes, you worry, don't you, about the future. And I think children is the fear of them growing up, living a fulfilled life, and the fear of maybe getting bullied, the money, like it costs money to look after a disabled child, all that type of stuff. It's the fear of the future.
Yeah.
But I feel like speaking to like the David and Megan who got diagnosed, their baby, Karis, had Down syndrome. But when they got diagnosed, they were so scared. He was worried about bullying. Like, there's a moment in the clip where he talks about the fear of getting bullied, and we both get really emotional. Like, it just really hit me, because it's like, I've been given this amazing opportunity since swimming now to talk about disability and to use my platform. But what more could I do so that people don't have this fear? Like, representation is so important, and I'm so thankful the likes of ITV let me do this documentary and talk about disability. But it's like, you want to do more and more to help, because I'm so proud to be disabled and to represent that disabled community. But I just want people to live a great life.
I think the more you talk about things, especially now with the modern world and social media, and you can spread things around a lot easier, it's important to do that. But when you were saying about your mum back in the day, you know, there wasn't that much sort of knowledge and ways of sharing things and whatever. What did your mum get told?
So she gave birth to me. She was on her own, single. We chat in the documentary, actually. But then the sheet of paper, when she went to a geneticist, was saying that achondroplasia is seen as perceived in the circus. We wouldn't have a good career because of all this type of stuff. And I think, gosh, that's 30 years ago.
Yeah.
That's nothing,
not
is
long.
it? Like, that's crazy that's still... like 30 years ago, it's like, I'm 30 now, but it's not that long ago at all. And to think that she got given that, and I think many reasons why she gave me up for adoption, that and being on her own, all this type of stuff. But God, it shocks me still.
You can't put yourself, you know, in anyone's position really at the time.
No, you can't.
Emotionally, everything else. So
she did what she needed to do at that time.
She did.
And I know it's quite controversial, sort of, because you looked into PGT. If you can tell us a little bit about that, because it is, you know...
Oh, Paddy, I hope I do it well, because, you know, when you're on the documentary, you're learning so much science stuff. So I'm like trying
even you were saying it's quite a lot, because, I mean, you were saying... It was saying so if you went with an average person and you got 50% chance of having an average child, if you went with someone who had the same condition, it's 25%, isn't it?
Yeah. So PGTM testing is, I don't know the long term, but it's genetic testing. So it's like IVF, but they pick the genes, the ones that don't have a disability, which is great because the likes of myself, if I make sure that I don't have double dose, so that's when two dwarf genes come together and the baby sadly just doesn't survive. But then also that eradicates dwarfism, you know, if we going down that route.
Yeah.
And it just means that, like, it's great that it's there because it helps. Like, I speak to Levi and Lewis who have had PGTM testing on their third pregnancy because their second pregnancy they had to sadly abort because of the genetic condition that their baby had, and it was just not going to survive. So that was really, really sad. But yeah, PGTM testing it's selection really, and again, amazing stuff that it's there, but it can also be very controversial because you're eradicating disability in a way. So it's like, gosh,
imagine if we never had Ellie.
Well, you know what I mean? Even with my own children with autism, you know, that's a, you know, I cannot even think about them being in my life and all the brilliant things they bring to my life. You know,
they enrich
and
your
that's
life.
what I mean. But you can never put yourself in that position at the time. And
yeah, you can't. Like, we all have choice, you know, at the end of the day. And I think whatever choice you make is the right one for you. But I think to celebrate disability, and I think that's why I'm so happy and proud of this documentary, to all the families that have opened up and shared their story, because they're all different disabilities. And life is amazing, isn't it?
It
and
is
to
amazing.
celebrate difference and celebrate so many different disabilities.
And
it's
you're amazing, BAFTA winner.
you.
I want to know quickly, have you decided whether you're going to have children or not?
Do you know what? It changes all the time because do you know when you're with your friends, and you see them with their children, and they're exhausted, aren't they? You know, I like my sleep.
can I say, Ali, I had a full head of hair when the kids were born. If that's any consolation.
I like my hair. So I want to keep.
Well, listen, Ellie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
You can watch Ellie's new documentary, Should I Have Children, tonight, 9 p.m. on ITV1 and ITVX.
Thank you so much for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every single day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the morning. And join us now. Hello.
Oh, welcome to both.
Hi.
Morning still. Hi,
Morning.
how are you?
Yeah, great. That was a great edit.
It was nice,
It was
wasn't
a
it?
really, really good
Wonderful.
work, whoever's done that
liked it a
upstairs. It
lot.
was great.
Well, the looks were always iconic, and everything I've ever done that's sort of to do with, like, done a couple of, like, weddings or whatnot, and everyone always talks about Angela Kelly, wasn't it? Was that right?
Yeah, I mean, the character I play is based on sort of an amalgam of all the Queen's dresses. So she, I mean, of course, you know, being the Queen, she had dresses from when she was tiny, didn't she, Annie? So it's kind of, she's an amalgamation of Angela Kelly, but lots of others as well, some that she had when she was little, because, of course, there's a line in the play that talks about Annie and Margaret being dressed the same when they were little children. So they'd have shared a dresser at that point.
Pretty, both of them, weren't they? They were little.
But it is a little bit like life imitating... Or is that how you say it?
Life imitating art, yeah.
Life imitating art, in the sense that you was a dresser.
I was. One of my first jobs in show business, I was a dresser on Jesus Christ Superstar.
Really?
I got sacked. I got sacked because I was so busy flirting upstairs with some of the chorus boys.
Who was you flirting with the chorus boys?
Yeah, it was lovely. And then I left two priests naked at the side of the stage with just hats and shoes.
So literally they couldn't they didn't have anyone to dress them?
Yeah.
You were great at that.
That is a hell of a job, though, isn't it? Like theatre dress.
It's really
You've got to be so on
Well,
it.
I think dressing the Queen is a bit like that, in as much as, I mean, everything has to be perfect.
Yeah.
And you're in rehearsals at the moment, so
Yes,
how
we
is
are.
it going?
Well, it's great. I've always wanted to have a go at it. You know, I've always wanted to do it. So it's just great fun. And you know, it's a very good cast. It's a comedy. And it's been quite a challenge, actually, I think, for the designer, Jonathan Felsen, because he's had to have so many, about 12, of the outfits made that the Queen actually wore. We haven't seen those yet.
We haven't, but they're so
Can't wait to see
distinctive.
them.
I think it's, you know, people recognise them immediately. We all have kind of favourites. At one point, we talk about there's a pink outfit that people of my generation will absolutely know that had a kind of a
Stunning.
hat with the sort of...
It's like a
drip.
beret.
There it is, that one,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that the Jubilee outfit?
I think it was, and I absolutely love
gosh,
that.
Yes.
Yeah, but we
the Queen has in the play has quite a strong attitude to things. There's something she doesn't like.
She's fearsome. Because it is a comedy, you kind of get to see both sides of the Queen's personality and of her staff. And we have two Jameses, James Wilby and James Dreyfus, with us as well, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
And
as the designer, James Wilby is the designer, and James Dreyfus is the hat maker, the milliner.
Yeah.
Yes, they're both very funny.
So, Anne, you've got 12 changes. You've got to go off 12 times.
No, it's not
I was going to say it's like
that.
Taylor Swift.
No, we can't do that. They show the clothes and we talk about the clothes and I wear bits and pieces of them. No, there wouldn't be time, darling.
Right. So have you had any costume fittings yet, or have you tried anything on, and what was it?
Yeah,
was
I've
it
got
nice?
one this afternoon, actually. Yeah, no, the dress that I'm going to wear as the Queen. No, we don't change.
No.
Well, I wear some things, but not. We can't change every scene. No.
So, Anne, you met the Queen when you were doing Romeo and Juliet. Is that right?
I met her 4 times, actually, because I met her when I got an MB, and then I met her... it was a sort of Jubilee year, and I was went to the palace.
Oh,
and,
you look lovely there.
I didn't see that.
You look so happy.
Oh, my goodness.
Look how happy you are.
I like the hat.
It's really nice.
But no, we did a performance, and I'd like to see a video of it because I played the nurse, you know, when she's talking about feeding the Juliet and everything.
Yeah.
And it was a nightmare to learn. We only had 2 days rehearsal, and I thought, I can do this. Wrong. Anyway, I woke up in the morning thinking, oh, my God, I had this terrible dream that I was going to perform at Buckingham Palace for the Queen, and I don't know it. And then I realised it was actually...
That's reality.
It was
True.
real. I was terrified, and I dried, and to cut a long story short. And I don't know what I said, but I have a feeling that I sort of waffled. I mean, I
was a panic.
make up
Just ad-libbed it,
Shakespeare,
yeah.
darling. But I waffled. And afterwards, when we were presented to the Queen, she said, oh, my goodness, you had a lot to say, didn't you? And I said, yes, Your Majesty. I think I said rather too much. And Andrew, I have to say, said to me, have you had a nice time? And I said, no, I hated every minute. This is in the palace, right? And I said, I hated every minute of it. And I said, and I never want to come here again. And he said, oh, don't be like that. It was very sweet.
You actually went on to meet her. Was it 5 times you actually met the Queen?
No, I met her. Yeah, we got invited to cocktail parties. It seems bizarre now.
And does that
all kinds of people. Well, of course, Joan Collins was there in a gold frock, and you know, and it was all famous people.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but there was one do where I think there were 16 dames in a room. You know,
Wow.
Shirley Bassey and all the dames.
There's the next play, 16
That was
dames in a room.
exciting.
Yeah.
So I
That
paid
was-
to see
yeah,
that too.
I'd like to see
Where
that.
did the idea of this play come from? Like, in terms
I
of
think Daisy
the-
Goodwin, who's
Oh,
written
she's
it.
so great, isn't she?
She's absolutely brilliant. It's her first stage play, and
But
it
she
is-
wrote Victoria,
Yeah.
the series.
So I think probably somewhere around there. But our producer has been obsessed with the Queen's wardrobe and Her Majesty the Queen for years, and contacted Daisy and said, would you do this play? And she has written such a... It's so funny, isn't it? It's properly hilarious, actually.
With some really touching moments as well, obviously. It goes right the way through.
It's also, that's an incredible bit of writing. You think someone's skill set is to write kind of long form, like you map out a whole series, you probably map out several series. You actually condense that into
it's lots
a
of
couple of
sections.
hours.
But it is quite dense. I mean, the text is quite dense, and you have to... I think the audience is going to have to really be on their mettle to kind of keep up with the storytelling, because she's done it in such a brilliant way.
And presumably told the story of...
Through the outfit.
Through the society and the roles through the outfit.
I mean, politically, it's a gamut. You start, and we start in the sort of 70s, I think, something like that, and right up until present day.
Yeah.
So you talk about all the prime ministers, you talk about all the events that have gone on about, from COVID right back to the Jubilee. And, I mean, all of those things are kind of over in there somewhere. There are references that ring bells for all of us. I think it's going to be extraordinary, and we've got sort of musical tags for that as well, for those of us that remember pop music.
Sounds incredible.
I think it's going to be really good fun, I think.
You two are on tour.
Hope it will be an entertaining evening.
Yeah.
So you're hitting the road, girls.
Yeah, we are. We're going to Leeds, which I'm really pleased about, because my son's at university there, so the rugby team are all coming. So that's nice. And we're going to Manchester, aren't we, Annie?
Yeah, you're opening in Bath on the 5th of June.
Yeah, we open
Cheltenham, Leeds, Malvern, Southampton, London, Guildford and Manchester.
Of course, it must be lovely to be back together.
Well, we're mother and daughter, you see. In another life, we were mother and daughter, weren't we?
Yes, in what was it, Life Begins?
Yeah.
It was lovely. So you've kept in touch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. She stalks me. She came and lived next door to me.
She stalked you?
I can't get rid of her. No.
Oh, love
What are you going to do, eh? You're going to go on tour, so what are you going to do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies. Thanks, Anne. Thanks, Gary. By Royal appointment opens at Theatre Royal in Bath. That's a lovely theatre as well, June the 5th. Tickets available now.
Hi, everyone. Just wanted to say thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. Now, listen, we upload new content.
Now, when 90s pop star and mysterious girl singer Peter Andre bagged a starring role in a feature film, he never expected to find himself in the centre of a cultural row about appropriation and race.
Well, guess what? That's exactly where he did end up after posting this trailer of Jamaican, a film in which Peter impersonates a Jamaican gangster. Let's take a look.
My name is Gary Buckle, wheeler dealer and troublemaker.
You said it was urgent. What is it?
It's Nan. I need 35 grand to pay for her care home fees. How am I going to get the money?
Get a job, like the rest of us.
And who's going to hire me?
Can't believe it, man. You resemble my father so much.
You want to go to Jamaica, pose as this Jamaican gangster, steal all his dough, and then hope to live.
I mean, all I've got to do is learn the Jamaican accent.
If you're ready for die, who am I to try and stop you?
Here we go.
Let them know man say that. Kill man, all right. Blop, blop.
All right. Peter, the film's director and producer, Freddie Noir, joined us now. Welcome, guys.
Oh, welcome. I mean, I bet you didn't expect this to happen. I mean, this has got to be the best press you've ever had, isn't it, Freddie? Come on, you got to...
It's amazing, man. I'm humbled.
It's unbelievable, but maybe not the press that we really wanted.
Right, so just a few quotes. I actually thought it was satire at first. I can't believe it's real. This isn't cultural appreciation, it's cultural appropriation. It's lazy, tone-deaf and frankly embarrassing. How does someone in the production team not stop and say this must be a bad idea? So when you hear that stuff, are you like, any publicity is good publicity?
Yeah, but you haven't mentioned all the great comments we've had.
Well, that's what we are talking about.
Get there.
The notion of cultural appropriation. So when you hear that stuff, do you... I mean, Freddie, I'll start with you. How do you feel? Because you wrote the film.
Yeah. I don't see it that way. I think any kind of conversation, anything that promotes conversation is great, and debate, and also put a great highlight on a beautiful country and a beautiful culture. So I don't see it as appropriation in any shape or form.
Did you, when you were writing it and when you started shooting it, did that ever come into your mind that you would get a backlash like this?
No, not at all, because the team we have Jamaican writers that went through the script with us. We sat down with our production team. Most of them are Jamaican. So it was a 3-year process.
Yeah.
So we've sat down with...
Jamaican royalty in there and Oliver Samuels and Sister as well.
I never see it this way.
I think, actually, sorry, I'm interrupting. I think what I found strange is that we took a process of nearly 3 years from starting this to finishing, and we sat with legends like Oliver Samuels doing the read-over, doing the script, and actually filming it. And when we went to Judgment Yard, which is where Sizzla Kalonji, reggae icon, lives, and we're invited into there to do this film, the whole process, if there was any point where any one of them said to us, this is not right, we shouldn't do it,
we would have stopped.
Yeah, but that's why we were a bit shocked, because we had all the approval from everyone all the way along, and we laughed and we did take after take because we were all laughing so much when we were doing it. And so I think we were a little bit like...
It was a bit of a shock, to be fair.
When did you first like get the? You first found out there was a bit of a backlash. So when did that happen? Like after
I
you
know
posted
exactly
the
when it happened.
Was it is it the trailer? Because I feel like it was putting the trailer out because it's out of context. Nobody's seen the film. I think them
Exactly.
seeing the trailer, I think that was the reason.
Yes, but how interesting is this? I put it on Instagram, I put it on Facebook, I put it on X, and I put it on TikTok.
Yeah.
Facebook and Instagram have stayed there. It's always stayed there, and all the comments are positive, and people are angry about that because the second I put it on X, it was
there you go.
horrific.
That's the worst
And
place
it's not
to put
the
it.
first time. It's not the first time it's happened to me. You know, when I did GB News, I got the same thing. I've had loads of times where X has really slated me. So when we did that, the press just took what was on X, and we were like, yeah, but what about what's on Instagram? And so we understand. Look, I know how the game is.
Yeah,
I get it.
It goes part and parcel with the game, so.
But it's a great film.
Well, I've actually seen the film, and I'm going to be honest with you, I absolutely loved the film. I mean, I am a Jamaican. My mum was Jamaican, my dad was Jamaican. I've been to Jamaica, I've seen Jamaica. And one of the mottos of Jamaica is, out of one is many people.
Yeah.
And, you know, you get white Jamaicans, you get Chinese Jamaicans, you get Jamaicans of all colours. You're a white man playing a white Jamaican man, which is basically what you're doing. You're doing it out of love for your nan.
Yeah.
And I just think it's a lovely... I like the film. I absolutely loved it. And most of my family who are Jamaican love the movie.
That means a lot. And I think we understand, and I've always said it's really important that if someone is genuinely offended by something, you need to hear them.
Yeah.
You know, the problem is when you get people that are offended, but then you go, well, what are you offended about? And they're like...
Well, it's all context and intent, isn't it?
But
Well, I was a little
yeah.
bit offended by Peter's acting. I'm only joking.
Which part? Which part, baby?
No, I wasn't offended by the movie at all, but I think you did a really cracking job.
Thank you, sweet.
And I urge people to actually watch the movie and not go on the trailer.
Yeah, well, the trailer definitely it was designed to do something, but I didn't know it was going to quite do that.
Yeah, I mean, trailers are designed to get people to want to watch a film and, again, to spark conversation, and I think he's done that.
Look, if you don't mind me saying, because I know we haven't got long, I just want to say that for people who haven't had a chance to see it, and we're getting messages going, but we haven't seen it in our town, or it's not at this cinema, it's not that, we've decided this weekend to do something, if you don't mind us saying it, for just 48 hours only, we're going to put it on Vimeo on demand so that everyone can watch it and make your mind up.
Make your own mind up.
Watch it.
Yeah, make your own mind up.
From midnight tonight, isn't it?
From midnight tonight
hours.
until Sunday midnight, you can catch it on Vimeo on demand and make up your own minds.
Yeah.
Freddie, you're a bit affronted by an accusation like cultural appropriation. So you sort of, is there a point of view like, I've written this film, I've directed this film. It's up to me about the context of the film. Well, how people take it is how people take it. But, you know, as a black man, you don't want to be told whether you're appropriating someone else's culture, because it's your culture. I know you're British Nigerian,
yeah, I mean,
not Jamaican, but you've grown up around Jamaica.
Yeah, I don't see it that way. I mean, personally, like I said, I was embraced by the Jamaican culture. I used to MC on the sound systems. I used to wear Clarks and come out and DJ at Carnival. Yeah. And a lot of my friends, I grew up with a lot of Jamaican friends. So for me, again, being able to put a beautiful culture and a beautiful place back in the spotlight was an amazing thing. So I don't see it as an appropriation at all.
Yeah.
And, you know, with me, like, I'm Greek, I've said this before, you know, when I see films where they play the stereotypical Greek with the hairy chest and the medallion and the big nose and they do the accent, I find that hilarious.
Yeah.
I find offensive if someone's saying really horrible things about your culture, and so I was a little bit confused, but I understand.
Yeah, I do get it. I mean, we're in a time where there's so much negativity in the world, so much sadness, so much trauma, and I think it's a time where we need to smile more, laugh more, and, you know, just sometimes escape from the everyday pain.
Next time when we film in Jamaica, which was a dream of mine, can you not just leave me standing there by myself? He said to me, he goes to me, I've got you, man, don't worry. I mean, the whole outfit, I'm standing there and I'm
Don't leave me.
Don't leave me. And then I hear a noise, I turn around, I go back and he's gone. And I'm standing there by myself going... But it was lovely.
Do you love Jamaica?
Oh, my God.
Have you been before?
No, that was the dream, the bucket list
That was one of his dreams.
Is that your first time?
He said to me, Freddie, look, I'll do it on two... I have to go and eat the Jamaican food.
Yeah.
I have to meet Oliver and I have to meet Sizzler.
And I got to work with
and
him. That was like...
Sizzler was super
You've
cool.
got all your dreams in one.
Sizzler's an amazing guy, and to even be invited into Judgment Yard, it's a place, a sacred place. You can't just walk in there.
Explain what Judgment Yard is.
It's a compound that Sizzler, I guess, runs, basically, and it's this very spiritual.
Yeah.
You can't just go there. You have to be invited into the place.
Rastafarian, right?
Yeah, it's all Rastas. So to go in there and sit down with him, even to be there, was, for me...
Incredible.
It's just that you can feel the energy. It's like you can just feel it. It's beautiful.
And again, it's really important to say, at any point there, we would have known if something wasn't right.
Because he wouldn't have done it.
There's no way.
Well, I think, again, people need to see the movie. They need to see the film.
Thank you so much.
So,
like all these things, you can't take things out of context. You cannot judge anything on, and we get it all the time, on a 30-second clip. And you know, and suddenly
I'm going to get in trouble now for saying you can't act, when really I know you can act. I'm going to get in trouble. That's going to be over the news, and that will be the next
point being, you've got to watch the whole thing before you make your own
You did that
opinion.
so well that actually she should act in the sequel.
Yeah, I think we should give you a cameo. How about that?
I'm smelling the back.
See? We are already starting to work on a sequel to this.
Can I be the love interest?
Different country, different characters, but we got.
Shall I be the love interest though?
Well, I've already fallen in love with you, so it's too obvious.
Thank you, Freddie. Thank you.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.